Hey, this is BlindFox and welcome at my ration review. Please support the channel, please subscribe and please go and donate on patreon.com. So today we're going to do one of the RationTech Gourmet menus, and menu number 2, the dinner portion. So please support the channel, please subscribe and go and donate on patreon.com. And thanks for Tracy for donating there. So we've got our tomato beef pasta. I've squashed some of the beef a bit just so that all of the juices and the sauce can get inside of it. It's real beef. It's not prefab, so it means it's got fibers and stuff, and it can be dry, especially if it's got large pieces of beef. We've got our chocolate brownie, which is nice. I'm not going to heat it today, but no, you can heat it in the ration heater bag. I've done it before. We got one black tea. We still have one black tea left and a coffee, which you can use throughout the day. We haven't yet had rooibos in these rations. You can of course also use your beverage bag. It's got a seal and it does also work in the ration heater. Not gonna use it though. And we've got our last heating bag for the ration, which I'm gonna use, and it's not partitioned off, so everything sometimes clumps up in one corner like some of these bags does. So I'm gonna heat this up and I will be back when I've done that. Okay, let's see, we'll start with the food first. There we go. This of course is a gusseted pouch. It can stand on its own, but I'm not going to let it stand on its own because I might just bump it over. We've got some screwy pasta or corkscrew pasta. There's vegetables in there. There's I think peas, carrots, sweet corn and some other stuff, and there's real meat. Luckily I squashed some of them so they are not as dry. So let's taste. Nice tomatoey. It's got that nice sweet tomato taste. It doesn't taste like tomato that you get with our spaghetti worms and tomato sauce and the Viennas and spaghetti and tomato sauce and the meatballs and tomato sauce and spaghetti stuff. It's not like the canned stuff. It's a bit more real. It's a bit less herby than I like it, but I know I like stuff very herby. So that's not the point against it. It's not overwhelmingly tomatoey. It's got that sweet tomato taste. That means it's been boiled a bit, which is good for tomato. It makes it nice and sweet. It's not overwhelming tomato. That it's tomato. Everything is really well blended. You taste the real meat. You taste the vegetables. The structure here comes from the meat more than the vegetables and the pasta. The pasta is not as soft as it could have been, but it's still, I think, have some structure to it as well. Although not really. Yeah, the thing that gives it the structure here is the meat. The other stuff is soft, but it's a good thing because if you have to eat this cold, you can. Everything is soft enough except the meat that might not be soft enough, but I mean it's real meat. So you get the fiber feeling, and you have to sort of get the sauce in between the fibers. Our tea is normal black tea. It's not some wow, but then I'm not a tea person. Tea is tea for me. This, of course, our brownie would of course go better with coffee. It's got chocolate on top. If you pop this into the ration heater and heat it up, it does melt a bit, but it's still soft enough to actually eat cold. I sometimes just like to eat it cold because it's still, for me, it's easy enough to eat. I don't know, it might be dry a bit for people that don't really like this, but it's nice and substantial. It's quite good. As I say, it goes better with the coffee than the tea, but hey, who am I to... Yeah. So what do I think about the meal itself? The tea is nice. There is still a coffee and tea left that you can do this with the brownie. You can do the coffee with the brownie. Since nowadays RationTech's coffee you can actually split into two different cups, not like the old coffee that was so weak that you have to use 1 cup for both sachets. The tea, just normal black. Our pasta and tomato sauce, or beef and tomato and beef pasta. Pasta very soft, there's the vegetables very soft, the meat gives the structure. The tomato sauce is nice and sweet, as in it was cooked for a long time. It's not as herby as I like it, but I like my stuff a lot. I like the herb taste a lot, so that doesn't really count, but it's still flavorful and all. You can add extra salt and pepper here, which I'm not going to do. But that was a dinner. So what do I think about the whole meal? I think we lacked a raisin component to this, I'm not sure, because we didn't have raisins. We did have cookies and we did have the fruit cubes, but normally in these there's a raisin as well, but we didn't have it here, so I'm not sure if it was missing, or if it was never included, or if something else should have been there, but we didn't have it. Chocolate brownie was nice, our breakfast was okay again, but we still had tropical again. The isotonic drink was mango again. For lunch, our chicken biryani was nice, not overwhelming cumin taste in the biryani. Nice sort of a milky coconutty sauce the chicken was in with the rice. And super seeds was nice, and that's basically our whole meal. Again, I'm getting tired of mango drink and tropical muesli, but yeah, I don't know why they don't have other drinks with these meals, but that was the review. Interesting ration. Again, very good food. The only bad thing about this stuff is the expiry date on them. They don't last very long. They don't last more than a year or 2 or 3. The food may be, I think it's 2 or 3, I'm not exactly sure, but they don't have as much preservatives as the some of the other countries' rations have. United States and Canada you can eat 3-4 years afterwards, but this, I wouldn't really go past 2, maybe 3, but fresh, they are good. And I like the fact that they use little preservatives, although you can't store it for that long. But hey, we've got very warm temperatures here anyway, so you wouldn't want to store it long for that much for that long time in the great part of the country anyway. But anyway, this was the RationTech early 2024 gourmet menu number 2, the dinner portion. So thanks for watching. Please support the channel, please subscribe, please go and donate on patreon.com, and see you at my next ration review.